Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I am going to be going over my least and most favorite plants from 2025. I realize that it is March, and it is late for a 2025 plant video, but it's better late than never. These plants, my least favorite plants, it is not their fault. I think that this is all user error, so I'm not blaming them. And I am also at the same time looking forward to them getting better in 2026. So I'm also excited to see them grow because a few of them I have fixed the issues and I know what was wrong, but they still were causing me lots of non-enjoyment in 2025. So I'm going to go through those first, and then I'm going to go over my most favorite plants from 2025. My most favorites commonly are because they're easy, beautiful, breezy, cover girl. No. They're really easy to take care of. They are gorgeous. And yeah, that's really it. Everything I love in my life is easy and fun. So especially with plants, same thing with plants. So yeah, very excited. Hope you enjoy. And I'm gonna start with least favorite plants. Okay, first is actually my Philodendron gloriosum. So this plant has a little bit of a story. This was one of my first really exciting rare plant purchases. I actually bought this online. And when I bought this, I thought, because glorious and gloriosum are so similar, I actually thought I was buying a gloriosum. No, I thought I was buying a glorious, but I was actually buying a gloriosum. And it wasn't until I put this baby on a moss pole that I realized it was a trailing plant and not a climbing plant. So if you are new to plants like I was, this plant is not a climber. Its stem crawls along the ground. So when I put it on the moss pole, it was not doing very well. It did not grow any leaves for probably 3 months, which makes sense. It was going against its nature. But then I figured it out and bought these long planters and planted it up. It has been doing a lot better. It put out this leaf, which is not very big and nowhere close to what this plant can look like in its mature form, but it's a lot better than these just started to get colorless, yellowy, the velvetyness is not there. That's typical of a glorious or a gloriosum. And so this one is a little bit better. You can still see a little bit of a sheen. So it's getting it back, and I have a new leaf coming in. So I'm excited about this plant, but it was one of my least favorites in 2025 because it didn't grow and was letting me down, but it was actually me letting it down. So everything's fine, but yeah, we love her. Okay, so second least favorite. There's not really an order. They're just there's not one a most least favorite one that I have, but these are all just in general, my 4 least favorite plants of 2025. This is my Cissus, I think it's called Cissus Discolor. Another disclaimer, I did buy this in the clearance section at the nursery. So I was like, I know plants. I'm gonna be able to bring that back to life, no problem. And I saw what it looked like, which is like this, on the internet, and I was like, hell yeah, I want that. So I picked it up and I put it into some mini leca, and it has been, growing little baby leaves. Let me see if I can get this. It's been growing little baby leaves that are super cute. But it has also been getting this like dotted, I have no idea what this is. I have no idea if you can even see that. But it's like this like, looks like pimples. Like pimples on a plant. I don't know if it's a fungus. I sprayed it with a fungicide just to be sure, and it looks like it's like not doing very well. So this one was doing that in 2025 and seems like it's also doing it in 2026. It makes me really sad because this plant has lots of potential, but I do not know what is going on with it. I have kind of a sneaking suspicion that it's the mini LECA because I've had a few plants not do very well in this. And if you work with like normal LECA, you know that, actually, let me just grab a pebble. Okay, here's one. Okay, so this is regular LECA. It has like a porous texture to it. It has like, you can see that it's like clay, right? This is the mini LECA. It is like almost painted. And it's kind of, it makes me think like, is the water actually wicking to the plant? I don't know. It was marketed and sold as mini LECA clay balls, but it like, this is just making me suspicious. So it may be that, but I don't know. I have sorry, there's a bug on my lens. I do have a plant that is doing well in the mini LECA, which is my, my dragon scale. This is doing relatively well. It's growing a new leaf, you know, it doesn't seem to be having a problem. So I don't know. I do not know what it is with this plant. I really do like this plant, but it just kind of seems like all the leaves are just like getting these weird little fungus dots on them. I don't know. We'll see. But this one was not my favorite in 2025, unfortunately. Poor girl. Okay, next is my Hoya Lacrimosa Super Silver. I got this plant from Planthaven, Toronto, back in, I think, November, and it arrived like, I don't know if you can see the wrinkliness of these leaves. That's not normal. And so I was very confused. I didn't know if it was like dehydrated or it had like something happen with the cold, but it just never got better. I did take a cutting, and the cutting actually just started putting out leaves. But I've had this since November, so it's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-ish months, and this thing has not grown at all. I know it's not dead, but it just doesn't grow. So it's very pretty, but it just isn't doing anything. But the cutting is. But this isn't. The mother isn't. And I'm like, why? It's so pretty. And it also sun stresses so pretty. Let me see if I can find a leaf. I guess you can kind of see it. The light might make it difficult. You can kind of see. It's like a little bit of a purple. It's so pretty when it sun stresses. But yeah, just not doing great, unfortunately. My last but not least, yeah, I guess last but not least, I don't know how that works in a least favorites video, but is actually my Alocasia Frydek. As you can see, this is a very pitiful looking Alocasia Frydek. I got this from PlantCon Dallas back in November also, and it looked great when I bought it. It had 3 beautiful looking leaves. I think this was the newest one at the time. And 2 of the leaves immediately fell off. And I was like, okay, maybe it's just getting used to its surroundings. But then this leaf just was the only one that lived for like months, until I went to a local plant store and he was like, are you fertilizing it? And I was like, a little bit. And he was like, you need to feed that thing like crazy because alocasias are super hungry. And I was like, ooh, I have not been doing that. So I switched up my fertilizer routine and put it into a fluval perlite mix, half and half fluval perlite mix, and now it's popping out a new leaf. So made me sad in 2025, but very hopeful for 2026. Yes, so like I said, all of these I'm very excited to see what happens in the rest of the year. But they were just like not giving in 2025, unfortunately. But now we can move on to my favorites, which is my favorite part. So yeah, favorite time. Okay, sorry if I look sweaty, I just went on a walk in between those clips. But favorites. So I have 5 favorites from 2025. But I have 2 very honorable mentions. My first one is my Maranta Lemon Lime. She is probably the plant that like low-key got me into plants. I really surprised myself with how well I grew her. And how easy she was to care for. I know that's crazy hearing that for a Maranta, but she consistently gave me these beautiful purple flowers, which I just really, really loved. She's in her prayer form right now, so she's not in her most voluptuous stage, but I wanted to put her as an honorable mention because just like overall one of my favorites in my collection. I just didn't want to put her in the video as a favorite because she looks slightly leggy right now, and she's not in her like out and beautiful form, so I didn't want to have her in that part of the video, but love her very much. Let me put her down. My other honorable mention is a cutie patootie little cactus, and it is the bear paw cactus. I love this plant so much. When I saw this in the nursery, I lost it. I thought it was so cute with its little tiny fluffy paws. Like, that is so cute. I have a little bit of dirt on mine because it was repotted recently, but I just think she is so cute. It's always the little white tips. I know that like if you give it enough light, it actually has little pink tips at the ends of the claws, which is really cool. So I don't think mine's getting enough light right now, but love this plant. It's so cute. Very honorable mention. Okay, so starting with, these actually do have an order of my favorites, so I'm starting with my least most favorite, number 5, and then we're gonna go to number 1 at the very end. But my number 5 for 2025 is the, what is this? Transcantia zebrina. This is a very common plant. You can find this in Home Depot, which, I mean, more and more plants you can find in Home Depot, but this is like, you really can find this in Home Depot. This really surprised me how much I enjoyed it. It sits on my windowsill in the living room, and it just gets there's dust on it. It just makes the window so colorful. Its shiny leaves reflect the sun so well, like a little rainbow. I don't know if I'm showing this correctly, but I don't know, the leaves just get so pretty and shiny, and I just love this plant. It's so easy to grow. It grows like a weed, like any Transcandia, but yeah, it grows so fast. I'm constantly having to trim it back and propagate it. But I just love this plant. It's so easy and it's really cheap, and grows really, really well. So surprising favorite, but Transcandia zebrina. Okay, my fourth favorite. Wait, do I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Oh, I have 6. That was my fifth. That was my 6th then. Oops, that was my 6th. My 5th now, I just can't count, is my monkey tail cactus. I wanted one of these for so long, and I finally got one back in 2025, and it has been growing consistently. It even has a little baby. Isn't that so cute? I love her. I'm so excited. I just love the small things. Like, I love seeing little tiny growths and little plants turn into big plants and little fluffy ends of a cactus. I just think that they're so cute. So I really love this plant. I'm glad I got it in 2025, and I'm very excited to see it grow more. So that was 5. 6. Ooh, this is hard. I have 2 to choose from. This is Yummy. Yummy attacked my feet. Don't do that. That's not nice. What? I'm sorry. I can see you there. This is my Alocasia dragon scale. I grew this from a corm, which is probably why I love it so much. Where did I even get this? I know I got the corms from somewhere. I don't even remember. I think I got it from like a Lowe's clearance section. Like, they had like a dead dragon scale, and I was like, let me go find some corms and pot them up, and this is where I got this from. But it has been such a joy watching this grow from a corm. It was just so awesome to see first little leaf, second, and then bigger and bigger and bigger. And I'm very excited to see this get even bigger in 2025, 2026, sorry, all the years. But yeah, very much love this plant. I've loved the process more than anything. I mean, it's pretty, but I've loved the process of watching this grow. Okay, number 3. This is very basic, but my Sabo Blue Pothos, or Epipremnum pinnatum Sabo Blue. I know it kind of looks weird in this pot right now, but forgive me. I love the look of this plant. It is so shiny and gorgeous. I know that you can have these grow on a moss pole, but I actually really love it trailing. I love, like, I don't know, I like when these leaves are smaller. You can kind of see the shininess. I think they're so cool. And I just, like, I think the reason why I like this plant so much, and another reason why I like the plants that are in my top 6 so much, is the way that I style them in my house. This sits also on the windowsill, and it just fills the windowsill out so much. Don't look at the yellow leaves, but it just fills the window out so much. I had this actually in a Wally Grow planter in the living room for a couple months, and that's why, you know, I have some tiny leaves down here, but I moved it back into the windowsill, so now it's in good shape. But yeah, love this plant. Really glad I got it last year, and I'm looking forward to keeping this and seeing it grow even more. Okay, we are getting down to the wire. My second favorite plant of 2025, I'm basic, but my Alocasia Polly. This is another plant that I was like one of my, what I thought was like a rare find at the time at Home Depot. I got this and was like, wow, I can't believe I found this at Home Depot. I'm so lucky. Now you can find them everywhere. But I love this plant so much because it is freaking huge. Like this is my first like large alocasia. It's like, I don't know, that's just like this is the size of this is my hand. This thing is huge. And I like when it put this leaf out, I was flabbergasted. And so I love watching this thing grow. I actually have it in Aroid mix. I think I'm eventually gonna get it into Leca, but I have an Aroid mix right now and it has loved it. I just keep it, I water very regularly. And I just love this. I love this plant. I love the purple, like the purple back is so cool. You can see that, but you guys know this plant. It's so pretty. I love it. Number 2. Okay. My number 1 favorite plant of 2025 is my Colocasia mojito. Yeah, I mean, do I have to say anything else? Like, this thing is so pretty. The leaf is ginormous. It is so gorgeous. This thing, I have it in self-watering. I have it in a mix of, it's 50% peat moss, 50% perlite, and I fertilize it with my fertilizer mix literally every time I water it because it is growing so fast. It puts out a leaf probably every 2 weeks, legitimately. And each leaf like doubles in size. It's so cool. And I love this plant. I cannot recommend it enough. It does sit right under my humidifier, so it is in a little bit higher humidity than the rest of my plants. But yeah, I just love this plant so much. I am kind of actually scared about how big this is gonna get, because I know this is also, you know, the same type of plant. This is like an elephant ear, so elephant ears can get huge. But I just love this plant. It is so pretty. Gorgeous. I think I'm actually gonna have to stake it pretty soon because this thing is just like not gonna stay very stable once it gets bigger. But yeah, I have this under my Barina clip lights right back here. It just sits there and gets all the light it can get. But yeah, so that is my least favorite and most favorite plants from 2025. I had a blast organizing this video and filming it because I want to be able to look back next year and kind of see, like, you know, it's nice to see my favorites now and my favorites a year from now, if I can get any new plants, if it's the same plant and just bigger or what. But yeah, I was very excited to film this and glad I was able to get it out, even though it's March. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!